Hey there, team. So this is a free-for-all that Gervais sent me last night. He sent me 2 battles last night, so I'm hoping to try and make my way through them both today, and then I'll get them uploaded whenever I can. He's playing as Umbar. Up the front he's got some Belagar footmen, and then both flanks have some Balakith marksmen on them. Any armor upgrades for them? No, I'm not seeing any. And then in the back, these 3 units of Corsair infantry. One in the centre with the armor upgrade. I'm playing a lot of Umbar recently, but I really don't much care for like the hybrid units. I'm glad they're in the game, of course. I just don't like using them. You know, like I like dedicated units, really, for the most part. So I've not actually touched the Corsair infantry units. Behind them, though, he does have this very powerful formation. I say that every time I see it, of the Belagar footmen mixed in with the Alcarondas legion. Very tough to break through, and it can do a lot of damage in comparison to many phalanxes. In the centre though, the sentinels do not really need any infantry force backing them up. They are powerful enough by themselves. And then another one of these phalanxes on his left. He's got some Adunheim shield guard there, and some Corsair crossbows, along with the Harbingers of Castamere, and some Castamere's Rangers here too. And lastly, the Warlords of Umbar. He's got his general in the Harbingers, so these warlords will be free to roam around and be thrown away if they have to. In a free-for-all, of course, you are trying to get a lot of kills, but the main goal is, of course, to be the last one alive. Now, winning a free-for-all in Reforged, because the old Medieval 2 game mode of it is not really as good as, say, something like Warhammer, we have to rely on last man standing. And but we can have our own judgment of who wins, of course. And everybody's deployed quite far away from each other, but we'll see how everybody's set up. This is looking like the Gap. No, because I've played a free-for-all on this map. I thought this was the Gap of Cand, but it looks far too green to be the Gap of Cand. Speaking of Cand, though, we have Killian here playing as Cand. He's got his nomadic scouts there, javelin throwing cavalry, 2 units of them, and some nomadic light cav mixed in with the wind riders there. We've never really seen people do that. We'll see how they fight together. The nomadic light cavalry are continuing along there too. Then some more nomadic light cav, so he's very horse archer focused. Brotherhood of the Lance and Nurad retainers there. And then, we're seeing more cav, goodness me. The Brotherhood of the Wayne and some Variag Cathrax. Some Wind Riders there, another beefy unit of Wind Riders. Some Nurian Shoreland Patrol. Brotherhood of the Bow. Variag Horse Archers, and more Variag Horse Archers. So this is entirely cav based for Killian, which is going to be quite powerful in a free-for-all. He can stay away from fights if he has to, and he can choose his engagements, which can really keep you alive. And I'm sure Gervais will be very pleased that he's brought quite an ample supply of archers to counter this, but the amount of horse archers are not going to be easy to take down. Up on top of this hill is Master Blaster. I always find it's quite dangerous to deploy on top of hills and free-for-alls, because it can usually make you a target. But he's got 2 of these Witchrob Scourge Raiders here, with an armor upgrade. Scout mentioned in a recent battle that people are doing that a lot with the Scourge Raiders, and I can see why. I do think it does make them a lot more effective. The Blackguard here, is that where he's put his general today? It looks... no, sorry, I zoomed right by him if I did. No, he's not. Then he's got his Hammer Guard there, and again, no general in them. He's put his general in the Inquisitors today. Inquisitors are, of course, counter cav, but they do have a nice charge on them. And then the Witchers of Angmar there. So he's kind of dodgy to put your general in the Witchers, but some people do that. I think a lot of newer players put it in there. But Master Blaster, of course, has been around for quite a long time. Trolls of Gundabad here, and the Trolls of Angmar. And as always with Angmar, as always with a lot of the Orc factions, all the goblins are hiding right now. There's probably some Barrow Wights lining up here, a lot of Snaga archers, Snaga hunters and such behind them as well. And then over here we have Mirkwood. would. Oh, sorry, I saw the Ents, I thought Mark would. No, it's the Hobbits. We've got Grouchy playing as the Hobbits, 2 of the Sheriffs of the Farthings, counter 2 Cav, but really not great quality, so taking them in 2 beefy units can probably counter a bit of Can's Cav, but it's not going to be easy. Some Bjornings there, and a lot of these battling Brandybucks, some Proudfoot Protectors, and some more Sheriffs. Okay, good for him having those, because he's going to need them with Can on the field. He's gone with a red limit with the Sheriffs. And then of course there will be some hidden archers too, and various other, well, I think just about all of the Hobbits can hide. But even with hiding, Can's archers, Can's lower damage archers are going to do a lot of damage to these unshielded and poorly armoured Brandybucks. So we'll see what Umbar gets up to here. Oh right, Can is moving immediately. What I find is often the case in free-for-alls is there's always a bit of communication beforehand. In this sort of situation, I would definitely be trying to turn everybody against Master Blaster because he has this supreme hill advantage. But with Can making moves toward me, that's something you need to react to. These Balakith Marksmen, good armor on them, good shield, and of course bows. So they're exactly what you want to be using to counter these horse archers. Or these are just nomadic scouts. They will get devoured by archer fire. Windriders, unshielded units, but they'll have some sort of armor, but still not great. And then of course the nomadic like Cav, even with that shield, they do die pretty quick to archer fire. We're seeing a few horses taken out just there. Surprising? I would have expected more to be dropping, to be honest. The Warlords of Umbar will destroy this Cav in melee, but if Killian is smart, he'll be just opening fire on them for quite some time. Their armor and shields will help them hold out, but yeah. So the issue with this is Gervais is just, he can't really make moves toward anybody, while this mob of Cav is sort of swarming around him, because as soon as he makes a mistake, that looks really nice, just watching all of the Cav kind of passing by each other in this blob. I do not have the micro capability to take control of anywhere near this much Cav. Gervais has managed to catch them, and the Warlords of Umbar will be loving this. The Windriders, the Windriders are in there. The Windriders, of course, are anti-Cav, but they're not of the competency to take on the Warlords. Nurad Retainers sort of hanging back. It's quite good. Killian is not just sending everything in at once, because if he sends everything in at once, these Castmage Rangers are going to have a field day. So, but you can see a few of those Warlords have been taken out. Of course, they've killed so many more than they've lost, but it's still, with so much Cav remaining, Can just has the numbers to do this. It's quite weird to see horde Cav armies where you're not really too worried about losing cavalry. I'm going to be looking over the Hobbits here, not because they're engaging, but just to see if we've... Oh wow, Master Blaster's advancing. I didn't expect this. The Inquisitors have charged up forward. I'm going to slow down for a sec. Actually, I thought I would have a lot of time before this engagement kicked off. The Hobbits, of course, attacked that quite nicely. I think he was probably trying to charge the battling Brandybucks, and just the Hobbits popped up out of nowhere. Scourge Raiders are going to be throwing their axes. That's going to do a huge amount of damage to these guys, but the AP is of course going to be very useful against that armor upgrade. Just about everything in the Hobbits roster has AP. The Ents battling it out with the Trolls. The Ents are superior to the Trolls, but being outnumbered so much here, and possibly with Scourge Raider fire, could make things really messy. Some Dunedain Rangers you're seeing. Hopefully they've managed to get out of the fight. Sheriff of the Farthings, not really much of a charge on them, so right now they're just lining up and throwing all of their AP stones. Turkish Hunters firing straight up, but this is a hell of an engagement really quick actually, so I thought that they would wait for a while. Usually when you've got an engagement across the field, everybody... If he can catch these Witchers, which I think he's going to be able to, and shut them down, that'd be fantastic, because a Witcher blast could destroy the low morale of these Hobbits. I think Master Blaster's going to be able to thread the needle, though he'll lose one or two, but I think he's going to get out.
Intervention by the Almighty Lord or a military genius.
Announcers not loving this, but they never will. The Hammer Guard are fantastic for the Ents. This is a very good move from Master Blaster. Those Ents are going to start dropping unless they get out of that fight. And yeah, he's gotten those Witchers out. But now that they've shown up, he knows where they are. I'd be tempted to get those Sheriffs around and engage them. But saying that, there's nothing really, like, if he loses this unit of Hobbitry and arms, that's not the end of the world. Using Trolls attacking Hobbits is such an unfortunate situation just because everything in the Hobbit roster has AP. So the Trolls can just get, like, whittled away at, even by these low quality units. Proudfoot Protectors, I don't blame him at all for this. There's so much going on so quickly, but there are a lot of units sort of intermingled with each other and sort of destroying each other's aim. But that's not too bad. I'm going to zoom on back to what's going on with Cand and Gervais now, and things are very spread out. Let's zoom it in to see if we can try and get a bit of a better idea. Belagar footmen here have detached themselves from the front and just... It's good that he does have a lot of those Belagar units. We're seeing a lot of warlords taken out here. They probably took a volley or two. Brother the Lance waiting by. They're going to be wanting to hold off until the warlords are dead, until most of the counter cavalry tools are finished off, and then they can just slam in and out constantly. Adunheim Shield Guard, yeah, they're not something you want to mess with if you're on a horse. Now this is where the micro intensity of these heavy cav armies sort of comes into play. You know, these Norad footmen are just taking archer fire right now. Even if Cand loses everything though, he has a lot of his men here in reserve, and these are good men too. Variag horse archers are better than the nomads, and those chariots are going to be tough to stop in the end game. Even those cataphracts are going to be great in melee, you know, up against if those warlords aren't around to challenge them, which I don't think they are. I think those warlords have been defeated. If Gervais needed to, he could grab some of these archers from his right flank. And it looks like that's it. It looks like the sort of engagement is generally... I think it went in favour of Gervais, generally just because he had so many tools to counter this cavalry swarm. I think had he not had as many archers, that would have gotten really messy really fast. So I think Killian has just fallen back, and yeah, Killian has fallen on back, and we'll see if... Oh, you see, right, okay, cool. These are Adunheim Shield Guard, of course, they're not really too scared about advancing up by themselves, so just engaging these Norad retainers, they're going to kill heaps of them. Norad retainers, of course... Wait, sorry? Oh, those are the Wind Blades! I was wondering, they didn't have shields, oh hell. That's a shame to lose them. Yeah, to lose some of them, that's really not good. But, there might not be too much cav on the field to counter is the problem. Let's go back out. Back to this swarm, because this is where there's just a massive engagement here. Does Master Blaster have anything left on the hill? If he does, they're hiding, which could be good. We've seen a lot of people playing free-for-alls, and they throw most of their army away in the start, and people think they're dead. And then they just pull out some hidden units toward the end. Oh, these stones flying on in. It's always nice to have, say, a mounted arch unit that can just fire over the heads of your own units. That's always good. Dunedain Rangers moving up. Not really... They probably would fire a fair bit, but... The issue I find is just these extremely elite units. That's always something that the Hobbits struggle to counter because they just don't have much of their own, with the exception of the Bjornings and the Ents. There's not a huge amount of exceptional quality in their roster. Proudfoot Protectors, one or two of them must be firing straight up. No, they're actually doing all right there. They're getting some good clean shots for the most part. That's definitely what you want up against these Blackguard and these Hammer Guard. If we can just empty our crossbow fire onto them, then right before a battling brandy butt charge, that'll be alright. I think Master Blaster must have something hiding. He's just not come here with enough numbers to justify this. But we'll see as the game progresses. These Bjornings are nice and healthy. They could be coming in for like a rear charge right here. There's no spear units or anything, and the Inquisitors have been dealt with. So, Dunedain Rangers, he's getting in front of his own shot here a little bit. Oh no, he's doing okay. Just firing down the line of that. Oh, a lot of these guys have dropped from that. That's some good fire. Cool. Yeah, no, those are Bjornings. I think it does look like they were about to come in for a charge. And as you can see, there's not really any more red around Gervais right now, which means he's a bit more free to advance. But he needs to make sure he's advancing carefully. Not so much in a noob box, as it's sometimes called, but you know, he needs to make sure all of his flanks are covered. I think Killian has come out of that with a bit of a bloody nose, but he's still standing, and if he can hold back and just sort of reorganize himself, then that could go okay. He's still definitely got a lot of ammunition. If I was him, I'd maybe be I'd sort of maybe be keeping the pressure on, but you're just going to get outshot by the Balakith marksmen is the problem. It's if Gervais hadn't brought them, if say he had taken some Belgar archers instead, I think this would definitely have gone quite different. Because Khand would have just been so much more free to open fire on him. With his units like the Variag bowman, horse archers, sorry, and the Brother of the Bow. So I'll go back to normal speed right now. Because it looks like Khand is moving up to the top of this hill, which I think is where Master Blaster's hidden units are. The Hobbits as well, they've got a good opportunity to just hide some units throughout the game. So they might be doing that. Just absolutely swarmed by Hobbits. These poor Hammer Guard. And the Black Guard too, I think they were destroyed. Dunedain Rangers coming on back. So this looks to me like just sort of a general org. Oh, those Inquisitors are still around. With the general. You'd think if Master Blaster still has some units left, he'd want to keep his general alive. So, and he's being very free with them right now, so maybe he is gone. And he just poured a lot of money into that army. All the upgrades that they could have received. Whoop. Oh wait, no. Okay, so that's... Yeah, sorry, I thought that was a unit that just popped up there. Sorry for getting overly excited. No, so Khand just marched right across that hill. If there was anything hiding, then he would have seen it. So that's interesting. What is in this block here? That's the Varia Cataphracts and the chariots. We're seeing some advancing going on here. Yeah, this is what I would have expected. Because if he's going to fire back at you, he needs to stop. You know, you can fire while you're chasing him. So, Shield Guard taking shots from the back. It's upsetting, but it's really not the end of the world. I'm sure Gervais would prefer these nicely armored guys, even getting shot in the back, to be getting shot rather than some of his lighter units. He does seem to be trying to turn them around and hold possession, though, which I think he is. I think he's within justification for. You do often get. I've said it before. I like free for alls that do end up getting like really crazy and everybody's fighting everybody. Okay, which I think looks like we're kind of getting here. Khand is coming up to try and take a bite out of the Hobbits. As I mentioned, yeah, like this horse archer. Sorry, screwing up my words. This horse archer fire is going to be destroying these battling brandybucks, which is just what's happening right now. You're seeing all of these corpses. Yeah. Oh, there's just such an intense amount of firepower coming from those archers. He'll try and counter with the Bjornings, but the Bjornings don't have a shield and they've not got great armor. They've got a lot of hit points is what they have, but intense archer fire can whittle down hit points. It just takes a while. The Sheriffs of the Farthings, to be honest, the Sheriffs are probably out of ammo. So the only way that those Sheriffs are going to counter them is reaching them, and that's not going to be easy. The Khandish men are fast. Wow, those Varia Cataphracts routing with 58 men there. I think it's that 2 units. just broke there. Cheapers. They'll come back. They will come back, but they lost about 10 men as they were just running through. I guess it was the fear caused by the Bjornings, and just the sudden arrival of like being totally outnumbered by the sheriffs. But no, that was a good trade. But you can see these Bjornings are dropping now because they are just taking fire. But Grouchy's got to sacrifice something. Something's got to take this archer fire. Now, where's Master Blaster? I didn't see his general drop. I might have missed that. These sheriffs will give it a good go, but they can't beat the Cataphracts. They just can't. They can hold them in place if those are protectors opening fire. No, it looks like Tookish hunters. If they were holding them in place for the Proudfoot protectors to open fire, that could have been great. But no, they were just too far away. A few of them dead though, and definitely a few hit points taken out. And for a unit of sheriffs, they did good. A lot more units getting caught here. See, this is the point where I would, if I was either of these two, I would start speaking to each other, just because Gervais is still healthy. He's taken a few losses, but he's still got just about a full army. And right now, both of your armies are dropping like flies. Oh shoot! I forgot to go. Forgot to go private. I've been doing that a lot recently, but I forgot to do it today. Well, we'll see what Grimhead's saying later. So I'll probably. I don't know. There's enough going on. I don't need to speed it up. Killian has done really well, to be honest, with just all of this cav. As I say, there's been a few hiccups, but there always will be with this sort of army. Nobody like Master Blaster is incredible at it, but I've seen even he has made mistakes when he's faced with this amount of cav. Varia Cataphracts chasing off the sheriffs. Those sheriffs are starting to drop now. There's not like I don't think there's any full units of them left. Hobbit's just trying to chase these units around. Only 6 Bjornings left now. I think he's got to get together. He's got to reorganize his army, which it looks like is happening because he needs to just get underneath his archer net before Gervais hits. All of these archers, all of those infantry still have archers left, arrows left. Yep. No, this is a good plan from Grouchy. Just fall back to. This is a nice position, and it just allows you to group together better before the actual fight occurs. Can coming in for a quick charge. That's a good move, but he needs to get out there before those shield guard come in. That's the Brotherhood of the Lance as well, so they would have taken some casualties from that. I don't see actually too many corpses. Not as many as I would have expected. But no, they'll stand okay. The Brotherhood unit's morale is always pretty good. Oh, he needs to keep running though. This is always an issue. Just sometimes you think you're safe, you just run a little bit away, but you're still in archer range. Gervais isn't punishing that though. Let's have a quick look at the devastation over on this end. Just so many horses today, and these trolls, this big wave of trolls, just didn't really rack up too many kills, as I mentioned, because of the just because of the AP that's so prevalent with the hobbits. Sheriffs off the farthings coming on back. It'd be nice if they could get a quick rest, so they're going to keep chasing cavalry around all day. Then they're going to need the energy for it. Balance of power, like, I don't know. I guess it's because there is quite a lot of Candish power left, but I would have been thinking this would be creeping up higher, and the fact that it's not just keeps making me think Master Blaster's got something hidden away. So he's not put it on top of the hill, so he's definitely perceived that, but I think that this area was still within his deployment area. But so many units were running around, surely they would have popped up. What's this? I think that must just be a man running. Yeah, we're not seeing anything down there. What is this engagement? Looks like a sheriff maybe caught off. Oh no, that wasn't a sheriff. It's just some infantry. Again, like, I don't think the boys have the energy to be fighting each other right now. The battling brandybucks are going to be necessary to take on the Umbar infantry. And I know that's racking up kills, but Killian needs to be worried about Gervais here. I don't know why I'd be if you can target the pikes. A good few volleys into the front of the pikes before those Alcarondas Legion form up. When pikes are in phalanx, of course they move at a faster pace than the standard infantrymen. Although these men are tired from Gervais here. I think he has been getting, he's been getting harassed here and there, so he has been needing to run now and again. But I think the it definitely is on Gervais to make an attack move now, which he is doing. He's just not doing it too fast. Being aggressive doesn't mean rushing in at the first opportunity. You can be aggressive in a more cautious manner, which is what he's doing right now. These Brothers of the Wain, yes, they've got their crossbows, but like the true strength of a chariot is to get stuck in and be racing around on people. And yeah, let's try and follow one of their shots. I've never really. Where are they targeting right now? Are they just targeting the Corsair infantry? Surely their shots would be more useful on a beefier unit. But it looks like we've got a movement. These Variag horse archers out of ammunition. Just engaging the Corsair infantry, stopping them from firing for a bit. But I just worry about these units like the Harbingers of Castamere. And that's just about all the elites that he has left, but I'm not seeing much on the field that can really go toe to toe with that in melee, He's moved them up quite close to the front line. Maybe that's sort of like a temptation. If you want to shoot at him, you've got to get within archer range of everything else. So how are the hobbits doing now? Oh wait, what's this? No, running brandybucks. Yeah, I don't think Grouchy's got any. I don't think there's any shame in Grouchy holding the position right now. I think it's fair enough. He just wants to hang back. He's been fighting pretty nicely for now. I think I'd be willing to just hold position and let the boys sort this out. We're not even halfway through this battle though, which is I think there will be a lot of manoeuvring. So I'll probably find myself a nice spot right here and sort of just pump it up to 2 speed. That's as fast as I want to go though. We've got the Corsair infantry. Again, Brother of the Lance just got slightly too close there, and they're receiving some shots. Why do these corpses sort of just randomly pop up? That's strange. Brother of the Lance just got a little bit too close and took some shots from the Corsair infantry. But Corsair infantry don't have the biggest damage and no doubt don't have the greatest accuracy. So they wouldn't have taken too many losses from that. Let's get a little bit closer. Sort of be on Gervais's front line. He's done a pretty good job at keeping the enemy in front of him, which is always tricky when you're up against such a mobile foe. I think maybe Killian went a little bit too hard on like the Nurad retainer units, the anti-cavalry units, and maybe I don't know. Like I would say maybe some. I would say more lancers, but Khan doesn't actually, for being such a heavy cav faction, Khan doesn't have that like great an access to like charging units. That's more Rohan's thing. Oh please, don't be going in for the poor hobbits. Oh, only 7 Brothers of the Lance left. He needs them. Those Nurad retainers are going to get caught here. If those Nurad retainers had started that engagement, my money would definitely be on them. Actually, they outnumber them so much. Yeah, this is good. Grouchy will lose. Like Grouchy's just got no cav after this, and having no cav, I think I used to feel more afraid of not having cav superiority, but than I I'm definitely not as afraid as I used to be, but it still is a bad thing. We've got a push by these hobbits. They've come out and engaged the Corsair infantry are out of ammunition. But the battling brandybucks, their AP is not going to be useful against these guys. Alcaronda's Legion, however, yep, that'll help them out. But still, it's just the numbers. Like, hobbits are not meant to be outnumbered. When hobbits do get outnumbered, very bad things happen. Like routing at 44 is pretty big unit size to rout. 56 is pretty big too. But you don't really blame them when they're up against such quality like this, and the numbers of said quality. What have we got? Yeah, Candish push into these lines has just been pecked away at by the hobbits. So much of the hobbitry and arms, just they're good quality spears. But since there's just the excess of cav, they don't have the amount of spears able to deal with it. Especially since some of the spears have been sent forward to engage Umbar. Grouchy's just being engaged on all sides right now. He's really wanting to just attack his Proudfoots, but just so he can sort of start stabbing away. But at the same time, those Proudfoots need to be firing. What's coming forward here? Looks like Gervais is sort of pulling back a bit. He's got a lot more arrows to spend from those Casimir Rangers. Oh god. He's going into the cav though. That's good. It's really sort of a saving grace for Grouchy actually. Oh, that poor guy, that poor dude. If he gets, no, I was thinking he would get out for a second, but no, that's one of the last Brothers of the Lance. He's got his general inside of the Proudfoot Protectors. A good charge into the side of them could kill him. It's always scary that your general is on the outside of the formation, just so a charge can destroy him. Have we got an advance being made? No. Well, a cautious, as I say, advance being made by Gervais. Where's this archer fire going into? Looks like more fire into the back of those Neuron retainers there. Oh, what's this? Looks like just chasing around some routing men. That's the last Brother of the Lance, just running circles around these Tookish hunters. He's trying to charge them, or he's trying to like attack them, but when you've got so few men, units can kind of start to do this. The way you stop that is just by ordering him away and then ordering him back in, and he'll beeline toward it instead of trying to like constantly readjust. What's this? Another attack being made against those Proudfoots, but those Proudfoots will love that. They're loving this, just stabbing away at horsemen. On this side, Tookish Hunters just getting swamped. We've still got 10,000 frames left. Why do we have 10,000 frames left? I'm gonna bump it up to 2 speed again. Because it is just a case of the hobbits getting advanced upon, getting charged. That guy's still chasing them around in circles. Oh, he's just managed to deal with them. Vanderbrass archers, to be honest, will do quite well up against the Belgar Footmen. For archers, they're fairly competent in melee. They're AP now, which is quite cool with their little maces. Not that the Belgar Footmen have much armour to speak of course. Just a quick push through, kill that last cavalry. Neurad retainers. Nomadic light calves, still with some ammunition maybe? There we go, we knew that this would be somewhere. A lot of goblins, so many goblins. A lot of these goblin band, snag of stalkers, and whoa, I'm needing to see some snag of archers here, Master Blaster. Oh, more goblin band, more barrow wights, good. 2 units of barrow wights. So need to march with the barrow wights, but now where's his general? Did his general die? I think he did. Now of course this is a situation where you need to say, look, let's kill Gervais. This is the only way that any of us are going to win. But the Vira Cataphracts just are out for blood, I'm afraid. And they want to go for these barrow wights. And this is sort of the best way to deal with barrow wights, getting a nice AP charge on them. Because they don't really do much damage, and since they're so low mass, you can just run back out through them so easily. That's down to 122 now. from 200 basically. Yeah. So and that was one charge, so it's just so powerful up against them. But no, so it looks like Umbar here is just going to deal with what's left of the hobbits, which I think has already kind of been done. I think it's probably just the Proudfoots. This is where the Proudfoots were, just in the center of that dead cav circle. I'm not seeing them. Oh, they'll be over here. They still have ammo. They might. Yeah, they do. Oh, well, they'll fire away. Why not? But the only chance that's left is for these barrow wights and for these goblins to get a good chance, and Killian's cataphracts are not going to let that happen. He's pushing back up to take the hill, which, as I say, I think it's when you outnumber the enemy as much as Gervais will, I think it's your job to go up and take a defensive position from your enemy. It's not really a. I think he might just be giving the charge order for a unit of cav, maybe. You don't really see Goblin Band too much, actually, from Angmar. So, does one of them have an armor upgrade? No, those are Snagastalkers, sorry. I see. Yeah, I find you don't really see Goblin Band. Like, I talk a lot about I prefer militia spears over sort of higher quality spears, but Goblin Band are a bit of a step below. Sort of a step that I'm not willing to fall down into. You can't throw crap at the Proudfoot protectors. Oh, you can throw crap at them and then fire at them with crossbows, though. Yeah, that definitely does work. And Outer's still not too sure about it. I think we got this. We'll see. Barrow White sort of advancing this way. As I say, it's where are you going, Master Blaster? I would say if he's gonna win, coming at this hill from this flank is the best way to do it. But if he could have sort of formed up along here, it's not too bad. The issue is just that Master Blaster is entirely lacking ranged units here. I didn't see any Snaga archers or hunters or goblin hunters or whatever. I can't remember if it's Snaga hunters and goblin archers or what. But no, there just seems to be charge after charge against these gobbles. And yeah, we'll stand up on top of this hill as Umbar moves on forward. It's pretty good. I do like this map for free-for-alls. I think it's pretty good. I like very sort of clustered free-for-all maps too, but where you kind of feel trapped, sort of almost like cityscapes for free-for-alls. But this is nice. It's a good sort of rolling hills type of thing where there are defensive positions you can retreat to and try to hold, but they're not really the be all and end all. See, this is really, this doesn't make sense to me. You know, Umbar is not Umbar. The Barrow Wights are moving toward Umbar here. They're gonna try and fight and kill these Corsair infantry, and they're still receiving charges from the Cataphracts. I know it's like, as I say, everybody's got free-for-alls, and kind of the nice thing about free-for-alls is you develop your own rules for whether or not you win. That's really the thing. For me, I think generally free-for-alls are more about how much you kill than the last man standing. But yeah, it's definitely taken into account. I really do love. I wish we had a system for it that would calculate it out, like in Warhammer. In Warhammer, it's a lot of fun to do a free for all in Warhammer. Did the goblins do this? Oh wow, that's well done, goblins. I understand these weren't like Lancer units, but still, fair play. Good stuff. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, Warhammer 2's got a great free-for-all mechanic, and I really would love to see something like that, but that's not really, I don't believe that's something we can actually create. You know, that it's from Medieval 2, it's nothing to do with Reforged. The kind of goofed up system. You can do scored resolution fights, but the issue with Reforged is the life of an elf is worth so much more on the battlefield than the life of a goblin. So, and scored resolution only takes into account kills. So the way you win is just by playing Ladris and taking nothing but elites. Because no matter what, you kill at least one man for every man you lose. It's yeah, that's kind of the issue with it. Whereas in Warhammer, of course, it takes into account costs and such. Charge after charge. I'm excited to see how many kills Khand gets. I think Khand is definitely going to be top of the leaderboard with kills. And you know, if we were in scored resolution type of situation, like as I'm talking about, that would definitely be Khand's day. I think he's done. He's fought every person on the field. I think that's one of the things that you can really. I guess everybody has. To be honest, the Hobbits fought everybody on the field too. Yeah. I always like free-for-alls where you can say, yes, I fought every player on this map at least once during this engagement. You know, that's always sort of the chaotic type of fights I enjoy. Got these crossbows. I didn't really see them fire. I heard the noise, but I don't actually think. Oh, whoa! That was a good charge. Really, yeah, definitely right into the crossbows. Not as many kills as I would have expected from that, but a decent chunk. And this is definitely not like Gervais has not been cowering or hiding here. This is not his fault, really. You know, this is he has been pursuing engagements. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the Harbingers of Castamere are just going forward by themselves. I think, to be honest, they could take on this entire swarm, especially exhausted as they are. The only thing that could really wipe them out would be these Cataphracts. See, if these Cataphracts just swooped on around, they could come in from behind. That would probably trap them. Maybe that's what he's trying to tempt. You know, right between sort of the Goblin Band swarm and then say some crossbow fire, maybe. But anything else just coming in to try and trap them. But they're taking damage anyway. How are those Castamere's Rangers enjoying things? Really, yeah. There's just dead goblins all around them right now.
Praise the Almighty! Our enemy has lost his stomach to fight.
Oh, that's dear. That's Angmar wiped out. Yeah, 120 men there. 140, sorry. Of course, our crossbows. Yeah, just absolute trick shot straight to the left. I'm right into Sentinels anyway, just wiping them out. And I'm gonna jump up the speed to 6 because we've still got a few thousand frames, and I'm wondering why. Looks like what is remaining? Is there something over here, or is this unit routing? Oh, the Hobbit train arms. Oh dear. Yeah, no, yeah, I think I'll probably just be sitting on the hill for a bit. What's over here? Still some Goblin Band getting chased away, but no. I think unfortunately for Gervais, he's gonna have to walk over there and go take out those hobbits. It's a good little fight, definitely. Gervais definitely didn't, you know, play any. You get that a lot of the time in a free for all. Somebody will like go hide away and actively avoid fights. Gervais definitely didn't do that. He did try to engage. It's just that his army was very formation based, and there was a massive cav force on the field. So if you've got an army that relies on being together, that relies on working off of each other, and you split apart to get devoured by cav, it's no, it's not worth anything. So it's good that he did have patience and take his time, because I often don't. You know, I do very much like just sort of throwing myself into an engagement. That's the Harbingers that I've run on forward to take them out, and that has finished it. So, as we thought, massive kills for Khand. So arguably, I would say, to be honest, in my mindset, Canada's won. Now, of course, it's just what you decide yourself and what you decide at the start of the battle. But I think Killian has definitely taken on the most sort of high value of everybody. Saying that though, a lot of what he kills was a lot of his kills were generally fodder. He killed, of course, the warlords, but things like the Ents were already killed, the trolls were already killed. I don't know. Yeah, hard to say. Very hard to say. We'll have a quick look at what Gervais had going on. A lot of captured. I guess that was all the goblins at the end. He managed to sort of snap all of them up. Harbingers of Castamere, 2 losses. Fantastic. Yeah, I know the 120 kills are all like Goblin Band and stuff, but 245 prisoners caught as well. I know that's nothing to do with like your skill, like the unit's skill, but it's still nice to see. The Sentinels there, racking up a lot of kill. Like for their losses, they weren't engaged as brutally as they could, and they were the last unit to wipe out the Cavraks. Shield Guard there took a beating, so other people didn't have to. Very brave boys. I always like the Shield Guard. Then 2 units of Alcarondas Legion, 1 unit totally fresh and ready to go. They were mixed in with the pikes, and 2 of those pikemen were fine as well, just totally unengaged. A footman unit there, very much necessary for the amount of cav on the field. And they kind of they took a lot of focus off the rest of the units. Corsair infantry, they did it alright, you know. Like it was definitely good to lead with Corsair infantry up against the battling Brandybucks, because a lot of the rest of his army kind of relied on armor. The Corsairs do not. They rely on their numbers. You know, they're very orky in nature, so it was alright to have a big old hammer crashing down on them rather than one of your elite units. Corsair crossbows, racking up a lot. I always find the Corsair crossbows do. You can take 2 of them before you hit the red limit. He's only brought 1 today, but no, they will usually do very well, and it's so powerful to have a Corsair unit that can hide. That's something that Umbar has that a lot of factions just don't get access to, so it's really, really powerful. The 2 Balakith marksmen, I said before, wow, 120 kills for one of them and no losses. That's great. I said before that I really think had they been Belagar archers, this would have been a lot worse. But no, they did good. They were definitely what you needed to counter the horse archers. Heavily armored, shielded, quality archers is a good counter to horse archers. Castamere's Rangers there did very nicely as well. They landed some nice shots in the end as well. We saw when Can was fighting up against the Hobbits. So yeah. And then lastly, the Warlords were just necessary. Say if those Warlords had been Alcarondas Faithful, that would have been funny. That could have been so messy if the Alcarondas Faithful were just tearing their way through cavalry at the end. But well, at the start of the battle. But the Warlords of Umbar are good for both. I usually prefer knights rather than sort of dedicated melee cav, just so that you can pull off that charge when you have to. As I mentioned, Killian definitely racking up the most kills, obviously, and being the most sort of aggressive generally throughout the battle, with the exception of probably Master Blaster actually. But yeah, Master Blaster's initial charge, like he went for what I thought he was going for right from the start. Just, you know, throw an expensive looking force at your enemy and kind of use that, do your best with it, and then after that you're kind of, nobody should pay attention to you. It's like, oh, Master Blaster's already lost his army, and then you pop out at the end. And I think had the boys worked together to take on Gervais instead of fighting amongst each other, I think Master Blaster could have shown up and really laid down the hurt. I would have taken an archer unit though. I would have ditched 1 unit of Goblin Band. Maybe you'll need more than that. I would have ditched 1 unit of Goblin Band, and I would try to save some money elsewhere, and I would have taken a unit of Snagger, like just the cheap Snaggers, just to lay down fire, because I find that toward the end of the game, when everybody's out of ammunition, showing up with a fully ammunition unit of even poor quality archers is a power move. And then Grouchy just got the. I didn't expect the immediate attack from Angmar to hit him. I would have been taken off guard by that for sure, because Master Blaster had the hill. I would have been wanting to march toward it and like plan out an attack, but no, Master Blaster did not allow that. He went straight for him. So Grouchy was great at being able to deal with that. I think he definitely charged out a little bit too far and kind of lost control a little, but he was able to pull himself back and get together on top of that hill and reform. So that was good. All in all, great little fight. Thank you very much, guys.